Okay, yeah, I'm back after a while. For anybody who's watching, uh, today like I promised, I was going to be doing a review for a bunch of the numerous PS2 collection of the Dragon Ball games. Uh, and of course, I'm doing it in chronological order, so I'm obviously going to be doing, Dragon Ball Z Budokai for the PlayStation 2. Uh, There was two different versions of this game. The first one was released on GameCube in 2003, a year after the PlayStation 2 version. Uh, that version had cel shaded graphics, which I personally thought was a good idea because in the PS2 version there's no cel shading at all and it looks kind of weird. But I mean, it's a retro game. It doesn't matter. Uh, Anyways, this is like the game that started off basically how we have numerous and countless Budokais and Tenkaichis. And the first thing about this game that I thought about it was basically I thought it was Final Belt Zero. Well, it was like a continuation of Final Belt. But later on you find that it was way better. Uh, I personally thought that this game, it was alright. It's just there's some tweaks about it. Like the only way you can do a super attack is basically you have to do a combo, basically square, 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 and then circle. And this game, I think it's pure fan service because it was like the story mode was like an episode of Dragon Ball Z, like it would be when it turned on television. With it even had the narrator Kyle Herbert on there, which was a nice treat because you could tell it was supposed to be pure fan service because they explained it in the interview if any of you watched it, and then you realize that in Budokai 2 there was no good story at all. It was the whole puzzle piece thing, the game piece thing, the board and crap. It was just terrible. But this story mode I really like to play. Even though it's kind of short though, because I mean, each little part in the saga only has 20 battles, but these battles are extremely short because depending on how easy the opponents are. Of course, the hardest would be Cell because he is, and then in certain points you have to use a super attack to beat him. So this game starts at the Saiyan Saga up to the Cell Saga, of course, and does a pretty good job of retelling it. Basically, it even has parts that were considered filler to some people, and that was real good stuff. I mean, it was better than not putting him at all. Because I mean, and basically, I could show you how it looks like. This is the case. See, of course, now, since it's really old, it's at GameStop for $2.99. That's a good deal. And if you look in there, a showdown of legendary proportions. The fighting, there is a lot of problems with it, but it's fairly good. It's like almost everybody fights the same. They have like similar fighting styles and stuff, so it's not that creative. But I mean, it's the first one. You shouldn't the viewer shouldn't really have that much expectations as long as it's better than its previous crap, like Ultimate Battle 22 or Final Belt. But there's also the World Tournament mode, which sadly doesn't have multiplayer, but whatever, get over it. It's actually pretty good. Now, then there's also the Legend of Hercule that you can unlock after defeating everybody in the story mode, including the what ifs. The what ifs, I have to say, are really good. I mean, the funniest one is to me the one with Vegeta, where he's basically blaming the death of Nappa on everybody who are the Earthlings, and then at the end, when you defeat everybody, he gets mad, enraged over the death of Nappa and transforms into a Super Saiyan. It's sort of a what if, but we all know that he would not be able to do that. Then the other what if for the Frieza saga is basically him defeating all the Z fighters. The Cell Saga is him absorbing Krillin as a nightmare and getting defeated by Tien. Which I personally, I really don't think Krillin is as weak as everybody thinks. He's strong. He's the strongest Earthling. I mean, stop hating on Krillin. He's just he's at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's how he got killed 5 times, and Tien and Yamcha didn't. But The Legend of Hercule is an okay mode, but there's no point in it, really. I mean, it's basically a retelling of the Cell games, where Hercule, you play as Hercule, and go up against every single person that was at the Cell games, including the Cell Juniors. And it's not really that bad. It's kind of fun because Hercule is kind of fairly strong in the Budokai series, except for Tenkaichi. Tenkaichi, they make him a little bit way too weak, and it serves as a problem for anybody who likes playing as him. But I don't know anybody who does. But in Budokai 1, I think he's fairly strong. Other than that, there's training. But how they teach you to do the moves is sort of brought into the story mode, which adds as filler, well, video game filler. I don't know if that's possible. That's basically it, except for the options, because I mean, there's not that much. I mean, you're not supposed to expect a lot from the first game, but it was good. It was better than you would have thought. Well, let's talk about the gameplay. You are squares for punching, triangles for kicking. Basically what it is, all super attacks or combos are performed by extended combo of regular moves. So you would do, say for instance, a Big Bang attack or Warp Kamehameha, you would do square, square, triangle, triangle, circle. That would get you started at doing a combo, and then it would make your opponent fly in the air, and you would start doing your attack. These attacks are done okay. They're not the best, and the color of the Kamehameha is yellow instead of what it's supposed to be. The only one that has blue is Cell in the game, probably because he's the strongest enemy. Yeah, and some of the moves are okay. It's just another bad thing about the Budokai series, particularly this one and number 2, is the defense system that they have. It's very weak. You throw a Kamehameha, your opponent tries to block it. He can't block it. He still gets hit. And I don't like that about the Budokai series. But there's so many things that overshadow that are good, such as how it's faithful to the fans. And there's also, in terms of the gameplay, there's the burst mode, where 2 characters that are fighting each other oppose each other by doing a move at the same time, and you have to rotate the analog sticks, and whoever is faster wins, basically. And that's like one of the funnest parts about this game. Also, before I end this review, I basically would rate it a 7 out of 10 due to the fact that there should have been no expectations for this game, and it exceeded anything it would have or could have been in the thoughts of the fans. And it was really faithful. I mean, it even showed after the Cell games, and you even got a little snippet of the Great Saiyaman Saga, because probably when this game was being released in America, the Great Saiyaman Saga started already, probably. So they gave you Great Saiyaman in this game. That's okay. I would give this game a 7 out of 10. If you like this review, like it, comment, subscribe. Do not post any rude comments. There is no reason. There is no point. You are basically a fool if you comment any bad comments on here, and you deserve to go, fly away. You need to go do something with your life if you have all the time in the world to hate on somebody's video, okay? Till next time.